on.
I'll just make him invisible. Make sure he's sitting next to me. I'll just make him invisible.
Okay. So we're back, and yeah, you guys are in this cozy little room, sat on a table. There's a guy sitting on the other side, and he's, kind of a pale-skinned, kind of gaunt figure. You can tell under his clothes, which it looks like nice black silk shirt going down, meeting black leather, very supple, expensive-looking leather gloves. He has a doublet over that, and tight leather pants, and nicely polished boots. And he's sitting in this sort of dainty pose, leaned halfway over the table, just waiting for an answer from you guys. So, can one of you tell me who's responsible for burning driftwood to the ground?
So we were all really surprised. I hope that our characters emoted that surprise to find out that driftwood burnt to the ground.
I think that's fair to say.
Yeah. So after our jaws get picked up off the floor, Darius is going to say, "I don't know anything about driftwood being burnt to the ground. Driftwood is my home. We own property in driftwood. This is a tragedy. What I can tell you is that while en route protecting that courier, we were attacked by an elf named Farrell, who has been organizing a campaign of destruction against humans. And it only makes sense to me that he would most likely be the one responsible for the destruction of Driftwood. Just he made a coordinated attack on our caravan. Several of his elves died in the attempt to kill the courier and ultimately destroy the message, which they did at the cost of several of their men. Unfortunately, Farrell got away, as he has so many times, and many of the soldiers were slain by those same elves, and we barely managed to escape with our lives. And we felt it was our duty to bring the what was left to inform of what took place. So that's why we're here today. We could have just disappeared into the woods. We could have gone back to Driftwood, but we were given a job, and as Undesirables, we finish what we're contracted to do.
Well, commendable, that is. An elf, you say? And he looks pointedly at you, Alkir, and says, So you're saying elves were responsible for the death of the soldiers escorting you, and the courier whom you were responsible for protecting, and the destruction of the message you were responsible for bringing.
That's right.
And you believe they may also be responsible for the destruction of the town and the fort of Driftwood?
Seems very likely, yes.
Well, you have no other proof to offer?
Do we have any other proof?
Farewell's wolf.
Yeah. We have the pelt of the wolf that was the companion of Farrell. Fearsome wolf, which he was very attached to. I think that probably injured him very badly to find out that his wolf was dead. So
I see. It's just curious, I must admit. You see, I'm a man who prides himself on knowing all sorts of tidbits of information, and I've never heard of this Farrell character before. It's so interesting.
I need to ask something.
Sure.
Do you know when Driftwood burned to the ground?
Well, if you are claiming that when you left the city, which was a fortnight ago, I believe, that all was well and intact, then sometime between 7 and 14 days ago, we have a ship, you see, a merchant vessel, traveling up the Green Snake River. They were scheduled to stop at Driftwood 7 days ago, but found naught but ashes and smoldering ruins where the fort had been. I'm afraid they beat you in returning to Revenskirn, and they told us just this morning about what they had found. So it's very curious. Very, very, very curious.
Tragic, it burned down when we were on the road.
Yes, I suppose so. Hopefully you didn't have any loved ones. But if that's
Evan!
all you can offer me, Evan.
One of our servants in our home that we owned there. I hope he escaped the conflagration.
Winry!
Well, to my knowledge, there have been no other survivors, but we can always hold out hope now, can't we? If there's no other information you gentlemen can provide for me, then I suppose you are free to go. We appreciate your honest and dutiful service to the crown.
It's our pleasure to serve. But can I ask a little bit about what your next what you intend to do, given that this tragedy has taken place? What happens now?
I can't discuss matters of state with someone outside the royal circle, but I assure you that your loved ones, if you had any, shall be avenged, and the wrongdoers responsible shall be brought to justice. Yes, have a good day.
Well, is there any way we can assist with that? We would be very happy to assist in vengeance. We like vengeance. Avenging.
Oh, I think this is something we will leave to the appropriate professionals.
Right. I mean, I'll be the first to admit our track record is not perfect, but we have achieved some success.
Yes, we can go. Let's just go.
Okay.
As my friends drag me out, I will leave.
Okay.
So we're done. We're good. We know what we're doing.
Okay.
Ta-ta. Run down the stairs.
Perhaps we will meet again someday.
You have nice gloves. Where'd you get them?
Just keep walking.
Are you waiting for an answer for that, Alkir, or are you?
If I'm getting dragged out, I'm gonna keep saying I want to know what those gloves are. It was nice.
Keep pushing you down the stairs.
A gift from an old friend. Ta-ta.
Good friend.
The guards escort you out and show you out. You know, your wagon and your horse are sitting there by the where the guards are stationed, untouched. Everything's still there. So.
Did no one ask about the horse or anything?
No.
No. Okay. Well, it's my horse now.
Did we own that house in Driftwood?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Do we have insurance?
All right, insurance money.
Yeah, exactly.
No, unfortunately, no. So you're gonna have to write that off.
Oh man.
Even if we did, if the entire city burns down, there's no one to pay the insurance.
Yes. Yeah.
Insurance company burnt down with it, unfortunately.
That's right. Well, shit. All right.
So, yeah. So, what would you guys like to do now?
So we head back and get our car.
Okay.
Say that we're alive.
You head back. Philip is just closing up the store for the day. It's starting to get dark outside. And, he says...
Philip's father. Oh, gosh. Okay, yeah. I'm going to put my on his shoulder and just say, Philip, I have some terrible news. You should take a seat, really. This is serious.
Well, he sort of puts down the stool that you guys were... You saw the guy with the pipe and the thick mustache on before. He sits on it and says, okay. Is something wrong?
Well, we just spoke with one of the magistrates here, one of the officials, and he had some news about Driftwood. I'm afraid that it's not there anymore. There was some sort of an attack, and it was burnt to the ground, and it doesn't look like anyone has survived, including, I'm assuming, your father. So.
And your mother-in-law, for that matter, it would seem.
That's right. Poor Melindra's mother is just like the rest of Driftwood, ash.
Hey, take it a bit far.
You're being serious.
I wish I wasn't. I wish there was something else that I could say, but no, it's true. Driftwood is gone.
Oh my.
I can't.
Did this happen?
I'm so happy that you, Philip, and Melindra got away, and that you're safe, and that you're doing so well here.
Melindra, How am I going to tell her? This is horrible. Our homes, our friends, our families, they're all gone?
It's all gone.
Oh, no. And he sort of, he's trying very, very hard not to cry, but, he sort of...
Just let it out, Philip. It's okay. I'll put my arm around him and pat him on the shoulder. Let him have a good cry.
Yeah, well, he doesn't. He keeps it in. But he appreciates you being friends, and says, as he stands up and closes up his story, he says, I'm indebted to you for everything you've done for us. I would offer you a place in our home tonight. There's not much room, but tonight I think it's going to be difficult when I tell her. It may be best if you found a room in a tavern. I hope you understand.
Oh yeah, no, the sound of elves crying, it just half elves crying. Nobody wants to hear that. So yeah, we'll be at the bar. We'll be at the tavern. And yeah.
What are you saying about elves?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to hear that. What was that?
Get on the cart. Get on the cart.
He says, "Thank you. Oh, well, I guess I should mention you probably don't know your way around the city, but you'll want to head to the northern quarter. It's the non-human district here in Revenskern. It's not great.
Here we go again.
But
okay.
Yeah, it's probably the only place you're gonna find beds for the night. Unfortunately, the people here aren't all that accepting towards non-humans. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But you should be able to find a comfortable place to rest for the evening.
Okay.
Hey,
well, you take care, Philip. Give our best to Melindra.
I will. Thank you. And yeah, he walks home.
As he turns the corner, I'm gonna come to an epiphany here. We just saved that baby from the witch for nothing. That was hard.
Looks like
I almost died from a crocodile.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say for nothing, because we prevented a witch from being born.
Well, there is that.
Yeah, there's a bit of that.
Big picture. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's all the way over in Driftwood now.
Yeah.
Driftwood isn't even there anymore. So.
Yeah, what's Driftwood?
Yeah. Ashtown.
Ashtown.
Yeah, Ashtown.
Burntwood.
Think.
Yeah.
Burntwood. Perfect. Yeah. All right.
Firewood.
So
usually Driftwood's pretty waterlogged. You'd think it wouldn't be able to catch fire that easy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, wow.
Okay.
What do we do?
So we're heading to the non-human district, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, not strictly the non-human district. Like, there's plenty of humans who live in this quarter of the city. It's just not a nice quarter of the city. The people who do live there tend to be kind of, lower income. They can't really afford to live in the nicer parts, so they live there. And this is also where the non-human population of the city is kept. As you pass through the gate, you see this patrol of men walk by. They're all wearing full chainmail and have iron helmets on, obscuring their faces. They carry long swords on one hip and axes on the other, all in sort of uniform dress. And you can see on their uniforms down the front of them, they're wearing tabards that are black and have a white cross across their chest. And so they just go sort of turn a corner and march down the street past you. So, but continuing on your way to the tavern, you find a pretty nice looking one. It's called the Squeaky Weasel Tavern. And heading inside, it's your usual array of non-humans, dwarves, elves, half-elves. There's a half-orc sitting in the corner drinking by himself. There's a couple gnomes, some halflings. There's a couple halflings up on the bar strumming guitars. One of them's dancing. So yeah, they're all having a jovial time.
Well, I prefer the squeaky squirrel, but this will do.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Darius is in the mood to party it up tonight. I think he's kind of bummed out that it looks like Farrell just kicked our asses all over the place. And
I'm still on the record as saying that it could have been the merchant. He seemed pretty keen on burning stuff.
Yeah. So I guess
I'm saying you never know.
I'm just gonna try and get a room. I'm gonna try and find the innkeeper and just get us hooked up.
Okay. There's a younger, very buxom young woman in a low-cut blouse, showing an ample amount of cleavage behind the bar, and she's sort of yelling at the rowdier customers. She seems to know everybody by name who's in here, and is filling tankards of ale and sliding them down to bar to people and collecting their payment and such. And as you sort of belly up to the bar, she takes a look at you up and down and says, "Well, I've seen my cat drag prettier things in on the doorstep in the morning, but what can I get for you?"
Well, hello to you too. We just got into town and we had some terrible, terrible news today, and we just need a place to stay, and I guess this will do.
Well, all my private rooms are sold for the night. I can sell you a space on the floor in the common room upstairs. Will that be good enough for you?
Well, I guess if that's what you have, that's what you have. So yeah, we'll sleep on the floor with the other commoners.
Okay. So, 4 of you, that'll be 2 gold pieces. Do you want anything to...
2 gold to sleep on the floor? Wow. Is that a really... What kind of floor is it? Is it like...
There's a carpet.
Feathers?
Marquis is going to step in and be like, I'll actually just be outside sleeping in the cart.
You're going to sleep in the cart. I was just going to say, we should all just crash in the cart. But I guess there's not room for all of us. Fine, 2 gold to sleep on the floor.
Room between the cart and the maple beaver for us.
Man, these big city prices.
Yeah.
I'm used to the country.
All right. She takes your coins, sort of puts one of them between her teeth, and just checks that it's good, and says, well, thank you very much. Now, can I get you rough-looking, tumble-looking fellas anything to drink your sorrows away?
What do you think, guys?
Yeah, I could use a drink.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. We got mugs of ale at 5 copper pieces, or I can fetch you a nice bottle of wine, perhaps?
I think ale will do me.
Yeah.
Okay. So she slides out a couple tankards of ale for you guys and just says she'll start a tab. So when you guys are done drinking for the night, she'll assess what you owe her.
Well, we need to do some, life planning. We need to come up with an idea of what we're going to do with ourselves.
Yep.
Where shall we head? Should we stay here and try and find work, or continue on the roads?
Yeah. If you guys want to do some carousing at the bar tonight, you can get some more information about the city and the kind of opportunities you might have for you.
Yeah. No,
I'll do that.
Yeah. Why not?
Okay.
I'm going to try to flirt with the girl there.
Okay.
Yeah,
That always goes well with me.
So, Alkir, go ahead and roll a charisma check for me.
Never get the girl, man. Come on. See, I told you. We'll never get the girl.
Worse than you
I have not rolled above a 7.
So,
I'm trying to do this.
You start flirting with her. She flirts back with you. Basically, it winds up with you spending a couple of gold pieces worth of booze as she sort of turns the flirtation around and just gets you to spend more money than you meant to. So, yeah, she's a tough cookie. So yeah.
Oh, I know.
Anyone else who wants to sort of suss out some information about the town and places where you might find work, you can do a charisma roll for me. We'll see how you do.
Okay.
Monkey's down for that.
After that, I will get back to the guys and say, hey, she thinks I'm cute.
Oh, Darius is too bummed out. He can't. He's just not making any sense at all.
Yeah.
He's like, Driftwood, man, it's gone. It's all gone.
I did good.
Okay.
I don't even know what charisma is. I'm like, man.
So Darius just turns into a sloppy, sobbing drunk, crying into his ale. Whoops. Dimsy, you give it a shot, but, no one really pays that much attention to you. Marquis, you seem to do a pretty good job. You wander up to the half-orc sitting in the corner by himself. No one else seems to be talking to him. And, just sort of sit down and start talking to him. He seems to, he's a little cold at first, but warms up to you. You have a natural charm. You start a dialogue about, what it's like to be kind of different looking, how people don't seem to really trust you when they take a, first glance at you, how cruel people can be. And he warms up and starts telling you about the city. First thing he tells you is that the people in the city suck. All the humans are just horrible towards all the non-humans. It's against the sort of royal... No. It's against a royal edict for non-humans to buy property or own a business anywhere in the city outside of this northern district. So this is where the non-human population is centered. It's also kind of a screw job in terms of the taxes that are levied on non-humans. They have to pay a higher share than anyone else, and he gives you kind of a bit of insight into what's been going on in the kingdom lately, which is, there's been some friction going on the eastern border with Andalmar. The kingdom up to the north has been posturing its strength a lot recently, and over on the western border, there's been a lot of talk about movements of orcs that are apparently testing the kingdom's boundaries, and the king has just been ramping up his military a lot, bringing on more soldiers, buying a lot more equipment and armaments for them, which has caused taxes to go way up on everybody. So there's a lot of discontent and unhappiness in the kingdom because of that, and the non-humans unfortunately are getting the brunt of it. So
it's been getting worse. It's not always been like this?
Yeah, it's been getting worse recently. Just because of the amount that the crown is spending on the military. Now, he does tell you where, someone who has some skills and knows how to get a job done, maybe not strictly by legitimate means, can get some work in this town. There are a number of guilds in Revenskern, and he tells you about some of them. The first one that, when you sort of describe the guys that you are traveling with and the kind of company you have, he suggests to you is the Mercenaries Guild in Revenskern. And basically the Mercenaries Guild has sort of an arrangement with the royal the royal office, so that any bounties that come down get handed off to the Mercenaries Guild. They hire them out to members of the guild, and then that's how that system is run. So instead of just notices on a signboard, you have to go through the Mercenaries Guild if you want to do those kind of bounty jobs in Revenskern. There's also a number of guilds for different trades and specialties. So there's a guild for bards. There are some people in town that are part of a mages guild. There are some seedier underbelly types and associations for someone who doesn't like to work on the strictly legal side of things, can make some coin. And when you tell him that you're a monk, he suggests that maybe you should hook up with these guys who call themselves the Order of the True Way. They apparently showed up in Revenskern a few months ago, and they've made a little niche for themselves in town. They're sort of just a benevolent monk organization, not really preachy or religious. They just try to help people out, and so he suggests that you might go find them if you're looking for work or maybe just something to do.
Interesting. Does it give any information for things on the outlying of the town that's also opportunities?
Well, outside the city of Revenskern, there's a number of small villages that are mainly attached to farmsteads, because the land to the immediate north of Revenskern has all been cleared away of the forest and has been turned into farmland to feed the population of the city. So there are some small villages and towns out there that may occasionally need a job done. He doesn't know specifics, but again, points you to the Mercenaries Guild. It's the kind of thing that they might be able to if anyone's looking for a job that needs done, Mercenaries Guild is the best place you'd find information on it. Other than that, once you go beyond the farmland, there's some forest, then you hit the Black Ridge Mountains up to the north. Proceeding on west, you start, once you reach the borders of the kingdom, you pass on into what's basically become orc territory over the last few decades. And that's sort of where the front line is for most of the kingdom's military effort, is holding the borders against the encroachment of orcs. And then up to the northwest is the Black Hills, which is primarily settled by dwarves.
Nice. Fairly long conversation. We'd probably split a bottle of wine over this. What does that cost?
Let's see. A bottle of wine would set you back 5 silver pieces. So, if you want to cover it or split it 50-50.
No, I'll pay for it.
Okay.
I guess after all that info's done, I'll come back to whoever's mostly sober in this group and share the info.
It's gone, man. The whole thing is burned down. Can you believe it? It's so terrible.
Yeah, by the way, Marky, before you leave, the guy tells you his name is Thorg. And he appreciates you.
Is he the orc god of lightning?
No. And he appreciates you having a drink with him, so maybe you might cross paths with him again. You don't know. But yeah, so everyone else is crying into their mugs, I guess.
Pretty much. Alkir probably not.
No, Alkir is just drinking more and more as the giant pair of breasts tells him to continue drinking. Okay.
After that, Marquis is going to go to the Maple Beaver and basically spend the night meditating in it. He's got a lot to think about.
Okay. So, Darius and Dimsy, I'd like each of you to roll 1d4 for me.
I think last time I did this, my guy was out of commission for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
We're not to that part yet.
Oh, God.
Yep.
I hope it's a high roll's good. Probably not.
Okay. So, Darius, you spent 4 silver on ale, and Dimsy... Or no, the other way around. Dimsy, you spent 4 silver on ale, and Darius, you spent 3 silver on ale.
Okay.
I'm fine with that.
Okay, so... next morning, Darius and Dimsy and Alkir make Constitution saves for me. This is where we get to the hangover part.
Uh-oh.
Oh, God!
Jesus!
Wow. Too long on the road. We're all lightweights now.
Alright, all 3 of you are hungover, and it's not good. So, you guys are going to suffer disadvantage on any attack and skill rolls you guys make today. So, as you're trying to get over your hangovers.
Damn.
Oh, God.
So, yeah. And I guess that's where we will leave it, and we will pick up here next week. So, you guys have made your footprint in Revenskirn.
Cool.
So, thanks everyone who's watching for watching. VOD for this stream will be up immediately after on Twitch. I'm gonna carve it up. There'll be a link to the YouTube playlist where all of the streams are uploaded. I'll put that just under the streaming window. There'll be a link for it once those are ready. And yeah, we'll be back next Tuesday night with more of the Undesirables, and next Thursday we'll be back with an Iron Kingdoms campaign, which I'm looking forward to. I think that should be a lot of fun. So, thank you so much. Remember, hit the follow button if you like the stream. If you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. Really appreciate it. And have a good night.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.
All right.